It's college. Exactly like you said. It's legit freshman, sophomore, junior, seniors. You watch it evolve. It's damn near like even in the frat world or the sororities, like where you watch like whoever is the top girl come in and she's bringing all her littles in.
You can't say that.
Like she's bringing all her littles in, and then like you go, hey man, 2 years ago you was little, and then now she's bringing all like,
hey,
this is what we do here. It's like,
don't talk to him.
Yeah,
you don't want them nobody see you. Don't take a drink from that
guy. We
guy.
always go on this stage. This is our section. This four corners.
That's Jay. Don't treat him like
you
a
watch it just
girl.
rotate around, and then you go to the next club where it's bottle service. You go, oh, this is where you graduated to.
Dude, isn't it so funny, man? It's so mechanical sometimes. Please introduce yourself to the people, whoever might be listening.
Jay Wells, DJ, producer, entertainer, whatever you want to call it.
And you're a San Ho guy, right?
Born and raised pretty much throughout the Bay, San Jose, Richmond, like the whole little traveling around, but both my parents graduated from San Jose State.
Hey.
So, you know what I mean? Just
you're entrenched.
Yeah.
You're entrenched, man. I feel like San Jose, like I'm out here, like this is my 5th year out here. And I think that, just a little background, like we're both industry. I'm working the service industry. I'm bartending, I'm serving, I'm working my way up. And I always see Jay around town. And, this is like the little roses section because you deserve them joints.
I appreciate that.
So, like, every time I see Jay around, always good vibes, never a problem, always good. Like, you realize I've moved around a lot, and when you see a village member, when you see someone that's part of your tribe, even in this place, and there's always good vibes, always chill. A couple times we ran into I've had my interactions on these San Jose streets.
It happens.
And you've had some interactions on these San Jose streets. And it's interesting that, like, the more I travel California, I feel like San Jose is, like, this different kind of place.
Very unique.
It's very, like, do you know the San Jose mantra? It's like, do you know the way to San Jose? But, like, can you walk on them streets?
It's a real thing. It's almost like, was that Narnia's Closet or whatever it is? It's almost like you walk into the Bay Area, you think you got it figured out.
Bro.
Then you walk through this door and you go, what the fuck is this called San Jose? And it's just bigger than you ever thought. Like you driving for 45 minutes from east to north, you know what I mean?
Yeah, geographically
even within San Jose, there's own, it's its own kind of community.
Like subsects, almost.
I think San Jose probably has the most diverse within like the poly community, the Viet community, the Indians. You know what I mean? Like it's so. But you go to Oakland, it's kind of like a little. You know what I mean?
Right.
Tell it all. You see more Filipinos, more blacks. But San Jose is more like it's a melting pot of like, shit. Where did all y'all come from? Like it's everything, which creates a beautiful thing out there.
It's so dope because it's interesting. Like I love everybody. It don't matter. But like
definitely.
Census reports are census reports. When I pulled into town, like I saw what the split was, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And it's interesting seeing like almost how the world would be ran if it was like if Mexicans and Asians were in charge. Because it's like so many Mexican Americans and Asian Americans in this area. And I'm just like, there are white people, but it's just like a different type of swag that's put on the community.
And even the white people
they're so dominant. They're saucy as fuck, bro.
Different.
Super different, bro.
As a person who just recently moved to Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first time moving out of the state.
Got you.
Sorry. And getting to experience that. Mm-hmm. So I'm with the homie Curtis.
Together. We'll get it right.
We're at the gym, and he's from San Jose, bartender, white guy, and he just brings it like, did you realize like how people dress out here? And I'm not even tripping off. I don't even.
It's different.
Just as a local, I mean, so somebody coming in, you don't realize that you're not the local anymore.
Yep.
So I'm just, typical sweatpants, Jordans, and a hoodie. Just everything matches, but it's just some shit I grabbed out of my closet.
Right.
Then you look around, you go, oh, that nigga got on green pants, purple shirt, and some Reeboks. It's like, okay, this is a little different. And it's just a little bit. I was like, I would never see that combination in San Jose.
I think that's the other thing too. Is like when you live in, like, I feel like I lived a bunch of different places over the years, and it's interesting. The Bay in particular, it's this like little like nice little island. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, in general, the Bay, I think. The swag, the music, like, the people are different, like, how nice they are, but still someone can catch a real fade.
Oh, my God. Quickly.
And violently, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see some violent acts. I'm like, oh, wow, that shouldn't have gone that way. But I've seen that, other places. I've seen that, but it's a show, though.
Yeah.
It's like a bomb. It's posturing. It's build up. It's energy change, and it's like, and then the event. Here it's like, yo, we popping, son. We what? Bip, 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 bip.
What's the saying is, I don't play that shit. It's a real thing.
I don't play that shit, bro.
It's a real thing in the Bay Area.
And it's kind of refreshing because, like, you always need a little element of danger. Like, you know, like, you always have to stay on guard. Like, no matter how nice a place is, all this thing, how cool it's going.
You never know.
But just stay a little bit on, you know, keep your head on a swivel just in case.
You never know.
It might be a chair or it might be, you know what I'm saying? But I love it for that, though, man. But it's so, like, and I feel like the perfect representative, you know, honestly, of the Bay is like a Too Short. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or the whole Hyphy movie. Because you see them, like, as an outsider, and you're like, this dude is ridiculous to a degree. But it's authenticity with that ridiculousness at a point.
If you ever kind of just, like, monitor how Short moves, I think that was a perfect analogy. Because it's like he's saying so much dope game.
Yep.
Then you watch him walk in the room, it's like slow motion. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not overbearing. It's not like, oh, Short's in the house.
Right.
It's just, hey, how you doing? I'm Too Short.
It's real energy.
And then you listen to his music like, nigga, blow the whistle. Like, it's like, okay, you got two different, you got your I'm working personality and you got your I'm just a normal, hey, I'm moving.
Right.
And I think that kind of happens throughout the majority of the celebrities you kind of meet in the Bay Area. You have you see them in the videos.
Yeah.
In the video, they're going crazy. But when you see them in the club, it's more so, where my bottle at? Got a couple hoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? We just chill.
Cash.
We just chilling, bro.
It's super good. It's that Larry June energy.
Very factual.
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
Why we got to be over the top? Like, you know what I mean? They already know me here. It's just, you know what? Don't even bring the sparklers. Just,
It's about bottles and bitches. Bottles and bitches. Slide a couple bitches through. That's all I really need. It's an interesting, like you said, it's like an interesting, like, give take. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even, you know, I got a little bass swag off me. You know, it rub off a little bit.
Naturally, yeah.
You know, and, you know, similar frequency. But, you know, even we went to Bartender's Ball this last week.
Okay.
Me and some of the homies. And everybody, the Bay traveled hella deep. So we were like, probably like 30 deep down in San Diego. So we bump into different people, we see different things, but like as soon as somebody from the Bay came in, everybody was partying.
Naturally,
everybody was having a good time.
Don't let any E40 come around,
bro. Bro, go down, bro.
Don't let any E40 come on, and you're not in the Bay. You just. Y'all just come together like, oh, I knew it. So an automatic family reunion.
And for sure, bro. And it was just such good vibes. And then it would just like manifest. And I think the thing about the Bay is like the Bay is always ready to party.
Very true. Very true.
Always ready to party, always ready to spread good vibes. And it was cool for me seeing that from outside and then getting the ethos and then knowing that's what it is. Like I look at it Too Short and I'm like, yo, he's just an OG that just always knew how to party. And he just never stopped partying because that's what the Bay is, because it lives in him. You know what I'm saying? It lives in these cats.
I like that. You know what I mean?
You know? So I mean, like even in Vegas, like you can spot a Bay cat from 1,000 miles away, and not like a California Bay. Like, yo, you from California? You happen to be from California, but you from the Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Once again, like I said, I moved, and I'm standing out like a sore thumb, not even realizing. You just meeting women. Hey, how you doing? My name is Joey. Hey, are you from the Bay? How you know? It's just, well, your grill and your chain. And then you take a step and you look around the whole entire club. You go, it's not a grill or...
Everybody a little bit different.
For
like,
sure. Like, okay.
Okay.
Stand out like a sore thumb.
But it's still, like, I've never, like... And, you know, I think this is, like, the blessing. It's a weird, like, maturation process. Because I think that, like, where you're at right now, especially when you're on tour or doing your thing, I think that's a tribute to all the steps you've walked before that. So, like, now you get to a point where, like, you're in a room that you carry, but at the same time, it's not a big deal.
No. Yeah.
These are just people. They put their shoes on one foot at a time, put their pants on. We all the same. They just leverage their opportunities to do better for themselves.
For sure.
And here we are. That's really all it comes down to.
Definitely true. I think I attribute the way I moved to my mentors and, like, my influences, because actually seeing how they walk into a room, even, like, down to just, like, okay, the smallest, like, influence, like San Quinn, rapper from San Francisco. Dancing as well, what I was doing. When I first saw him perform, my cousin pulled me to the side and was like, this, just peep how he moves, bro. Walk outside the club. He got his security, but his security's far back. and he's just walking. Hey, how you doing, San Quinn? Hey, how you doing? Hey, San. And this is before his own show outside. Like clearly, people are here to see you.
I love that, bro.
And you are just literally, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm San Quinn. How you doing? I'm San Quinn. Like, introduce yourself to everybody. Get on stage. This bitch is in there. What does he do? He grabbed the big one. Pull her on stage. You come here, auntie. We gonna have a good time singing this song. You know what I mean? It's so smart. And I watched that whole entire thing. And I was just like, that's a genuine, real person. Like everybody's gonna leave here going, you know, I really like that guy. Like that's, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna go like, oh, he was untouchable. Nobody's gonna feel like I gotta get my money up to be like him. You know, like, none of that. It's just really just, oh, that's a good dude.
Man, it's so true, man. I feel like the cats that move like that always get the most love, and they walk around bulletproof.
Naturally I say Jay Wells, but if you meet me, hi, my name is Joey.
Right.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like the entertainment name is for the entertainment purposes because you have to have one.
Right.
But I'm not going to continuously just walk around going like Jay Wells, Jay Wells, Jay Wells. Like I'm gonna call you what my mom called me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
what's your mama? I stay there. What's your mama call you, bro? I can understand that, and thank you for that because it's like, there's I think we're all performers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the industry.
You put your, what do they call it, the work voice? You know what I mean? When you gotta put your professional voice on.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm terribly sorry for any kind of atrocity. No, but it's what we have to do. But like, as entertainers, I think we owe ourselves, and like we were talking about off camera, we owe ourselves a service to be authentic to each other, at the very least, because we have to deal with so much bullshit from them.
Very true.
Why not just at least keep it a buck with each other?
Very true.
And we'll do it off panel. We'll do it off wherever you need it to be, so you can be
just yourself. Just
come on, bro. We don't need to do that. I had a DJ come up to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm so and so," to like, boo 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 boo.
Yeah,
ain't nobody around, bro. What we doing for
I don't think you should lead with your resume. I think that's a very crazy thing, and that's just me personally. If that's what you have to do to, I mean, that could be one of my downfalls. Is the fact that I know I am my biggest fan, but I am not necessarily my biggest billboard.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I am not the biggest walking around. This is what I do every day, da 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 da. And some people are really good at that. Like I have a friend that, how do I put it? He is very genuine and great at reminding people of the great things he's done.
It's exhausting, bro.
It is. But if you really think about it, that's all we really have.
But this is the thing though, man. Like honestly, I feel like it goes like this, man. There we go. That looks good.
Yeah.
I feel like the good deeds are never forgotten, especially when they're the great deeds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I remember there's moments in my life, not to get all into it, where like people really looked out for me. And I'm a New York cat, bro. I grew up in New York. My ethos is New York. I'm East Coast, East Coast, East Coast, East Coast. I just learned some of this swag to be able to hang out
to
here.
adapt, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had to adjust.
Yeah.
You know, but like I'm hella East Coast. So like if you save me, bro, like the reason why I'm at SP2, like I make good money there, it's good clientele, good professional development as far as where I'm going. But that place saved me when I was at a low.
Okay.
I'll never forget that joint. I'm super loyal. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like throughout this whole process that we all go through, like it's staying true to ourselves long enough to realize that like you can be vulnerable in certain spots and you don't have to be this. And I think that authenticity always outshines everything else.
Huge.
You know, so I mean, like you're saying, like maybe you think it's a detriment not to put your dick on the table every 5 minutes, but is it really? Because I think more people understand like being gracious, and accomplished.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I look at from the outside. You know what I mean? I know how I move and it's cool, but then you see somebody else and how they move and you go, if I had a splash of that. You know what I mean? If I just had a splash, I maybe 10 more people would know who I am just because I literally, you know what I mean? Maybe I need the friend who, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's it's an interesting like middle ground because like you don't want to lose the thing that got you there, but at the same time you are in the business of promotion and like that's how you make your occupation.
Exactly,
for the recognition. Yeah, that's an interesting dichotomy.
Because most of the time you want to be able to ideally walk into a room, not say who you are, but
everybody.
That's, you know what I mean. You want to be you want to be able to do that, and then until you are at that spot, it's like how do you get there?
Yeah,
and that's where I go like, my friend is like, he says his history to everybody. So eventually, the second time he walks in the building, you're gonna,
they know him because of that. But like, I don't know, man. There's a weird there's a weird cringe on that joint though,
for sure.
Man.
That's why it's almost saying like I'm great, but I'm not. You know what I mean? You don't say I'm great.
Like, no, it's like, oh, by the way, you know how good I am, right?
Yeah, like I'm kind of the shit.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll remind you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll remind you.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I'll think I'll die on this mountain. I'd rather save the drowning kid and have people talk about that guy's the drowning kid when they were around, than be like, hey man, by the way, I got the swimming medal because I got this picture. And then it's like, I think it happens better organically like that
for surely
than if you do it and then you look like you have a stigma around being that guy too.
It's very true.
And I think that's why, like, I've ran into some mid-level and some really good DJs, you know?
Yeah.
Like Miles. I talked to Miles Medina whenever he's in town, you know, like, really solid, good dude. I think I left my friend outside. Sounds dude outside.
I thought I heard it.
So fucking, so like, Miles is the best example that I know of, you know, personally. Every time I see that dude, he's the most gracious dude in the room.
Super humble,
super quiet.
You wouldn't even know he's a DJ if you don't know who Miles is. You're kind of going like, why does everybody keep on talking to him? Like, why does everybody keep like that guy has to be somebody? I don't know what he is, but he's just calm. He's happy, smiling. He just keeps shaking hands. Who is that guy?
And that's the best swag. And granted, it takes time to get to that level for sure. But like, I feel like the organic growth leads to that. And those whispers are the best whispers.
Yes, yes.
You know, because they're not whispers. It's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go meet that guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
that's exactly what I did. Like when I met Miles, eventually I was just like, at the time of my career, I was becoming that guy in San Jose where people knew me.
Right.
But you know, when you see the guy, like, okay, I'm trying to be at that level type shit. It's just like, let me rub. You know, I gotta shake his hand at least. And I'm never like that. Like I'm always around celebrities and all the above. But when I respect what you do, as a whole, you're a celebrity in my eyes. You know what I mean? You could literally be the best vacuumer in the Bay Area.
It's crazy, son.
Fire triangles. Fire triangles.
How you back up like that, son?
And I'm gonna shake your hand and be like, bro, like, listen, for what you've dedicated your life to, all right, I respect it.
Right.
I want to be the line guy in my field. You know what I mean? I want to be
a better type of line.
Yeah, I want to apply what you have done to my life and be that. I want my lines in the DJ world to be the crispest. You know what I mean? No. That's kind of how I think.
I love that. I love that, man. I love that train of thought. Like but it's so true though. Like I said, he's just. I think it's one of those things too. Is like, you have been around a lot of big people. You know, you have seen things. When I was coming up in the industry, I used to work at a concert venue. Okay. So I worked at a mid-level concert venue for about, like, the size of, like, Bill Graham. For about, like
2,000?
Like, 15 to 2,000, 15 to 17, mid-level. Yeah. But it was frequented because it was one of those classic venues on the East Coast.
You have to go. You have to stop by there.
You have to stop by
one of those, like, it's a bridge gap. You know what I mean? Once you get here, then you can go to the arenas. Then I like, okay.
But on top of that, too, so we had arena cats and we had local acts. But it was like one of those things, like it was in Rolling Stones and they had a dope ass like backstage area and just like the service was really good.
Love that, yeah.
The whole 9 yards. So like I got to see a lot of different people, but like always, I'm never amazed with how those people want to be treated regularly the most.
The most.
Like no one treats them.
Hanging out with Kev, he gets mad at me when I do normal shit. Like, you know, it's just like normality things. It's like, don't make a big deal. It's like, he'll be in his green room. That's where we generally smoke at, especially in Vegas. Like, we'll smoke in his dressing room specifically because it's in the back of the green room.
So it's furthest away.
Yeah, so it's not
just logistical.
Yeah, it's just not like, but then we'll be in there and sometimes I'll have some guests, which I don't want to be like, have my guests in your area type of shit like that.
It's respectful.
Especially when you come in. Like, oh, let's leave. Joey, stop. Why are you kicking your people out? I was like, well, you coming here to change, boss. Shut up. I'm going to the bathroom. And that rubs off to you because, like, how could I be the guy who works for him and then come, hey, I need you out of my little space because, like, you know
What's
what I mean?
The
like,
big deal?
You sound crazy at that point. Like, this guy is walking around going, oh, just grab whatever y'all want. Chicken. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have no special sauce. There's no like, don't touch this tray. That's the golden tray. Like, there's none of that rules applying. So in my life, I go like, how can you act like you are higher than or better than when you have people that you genuinely view as you kind of are better than, you know what I mean?
Well, I get what you're saying. Like, there's a level of like, is how much does this really matter? Like, is this a big deal? Like, it's the framing of reference of like, why should I act a certain way when the people that are there don't act like that?
Very true. Yeah, it's what is the point? Like, what is stirring the pot for no reason doesn't make any sense. Like this.
That's an age lesson, dude. I just recently gotten that one, bro. I'm a vindictive one sometimes, and not all the time. I'm a good, but like when I feel like jabbing a needle, like I'm like, oh word.
I'm
like,
the same way. I'm the same way.
You know. And like just recently, like it's a California lesson to be honest with you, man. Okay. It's like, what does this next step get me?
That's huge. So I'll ask you this: What do you think got you to that point?
I know exactly. It was the exact moment. So if you know me, regardless of what city or what place I work at, I don't really do disrespect very well.
Mm-hmm. Same way.
So I have a tendency to, like where I'm from, you know, we don't take disrespect well and we actually go and do something about it.
Check it instantly.
It's handled. But I realized throughout the years that I'm not home. But I bring that good old back home with me wherever I go.
Can't
so there's a couple times like throughout the years where I've come out from behind the bar and I've helped security escort some people out. And, you know, it alters my mood. It alters my tips. It alters the environment. Yeah. I'm a strong personality, so it changes things.
Yeah.
And I noticed it. Managers pointed out. I try to get better. It's gotten a little bit better. And then finally I got to this point where, like, I'm getting closer to a version of the person I want to be as.
Huge.
So at least in this regard. Mm-hmm. So then something came up from some old stuff. I had a guy in front of me, very disrespectful. Long story short, he started talking some old New York stuff that he didn't think that anybody in California would be able to call out.
Yeah.
And he picked the 0.000,000% of the person that would. And some of the names he was bringing up were names from my brother running back in the day.
Wow.
This is like real old school stuff.
Wow. That's like
this is like levels on levels
finding
on
a
levels.
dirty penny on the ground. Like he's very
like,
rare.
You found the wrong motherfucker for real. So like I was like, oh word. I'll be out there in a second. And I was there and I drug him, you know, a good distance out of the club. And he came back a couple days later talking about he's gonna sue me. And I was like, have you pressed charges? Like, no, you should do that before you talk about suing anybody.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be a long process. Like
nothing happened. Obviously, he was drunk. He doesn't remember what was said. He doesn't remember all the crazy things he was doing.
He's just more so embarrassed. You got to defend his manhood at that point.
You know what I'm saying? Which wasn't happening either. But it made me think, I'm like, so like I usually have like a little post-action shroom report whenever I have a big dust-up.
Yeah.
So I take my shrooms, I'm eating my shrooms, and I'm chilling. I'm like, how do we feel about how that went down? Mm-hmm. Overall,
he's asking himself.
Back. I was like, was that absolutely necessary? Could you have just got him out of your face via security and just been done with it, gone back to work?
Continue to.
Like, what does that situation gain you, proving your dominance over someone that doesn't realize that they stepped on an anthill of fire ants? Like, what is any of this process doing for you, where your growth and where you're trying to go?
That's huge.
So after that, I was like, dude, you got to do better, bro. I was like, so that was December 2021.
Okay.
I made a pledge 22 not to come out from behind the bar.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not coming out from behind the bar.
That's huge. That's a good thing.
I'm not doing nothing. Like, if someone gets me, I have to find ways to de-escalate in my mind. Because you're smart enough to do that, so why aren't you using your God-given attributes? That's just lazy, and it's derivative of a small mind.
I like the way you put this. The reason why I asked that is because I am a naturally, the word they use is hot-headed person. Mm-hmm. So I can't come behind the bar, but I'll come behind the DJ booth.
For sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's almost the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had to get to the point of my career where I go, like, that's actually detrimental to your career. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my dad reminded me, like, once you fight in the club, you are the fighter. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you could do to reverse that. There's no, you know what I mean? You can
That's absolutely true.
You can you can blame it on this guy was ass or he did.
No one
but
cares about that.
you are the person who has to be here every week, and so it kind of tormented me as a person. I started realizing, like, you gotta, like you said, you gotta be better at this, bro. Like, and somebody say something to me in the next 20 minutes, I'm hot and I'm thinking about that. So now it's 20 minutes of my set that is focused on, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my thoughts together, as opposed to I could have just laughed the shit off and then just.
And I realized too, like out here, this is the other thing, is everything we said about San Jose, how quick it escalated. It also is a place I found that either you're about that action or you're not about that action.
And you'll find out very fast.
And you know within a few moments who is fast. Who. Yeah. So like most of the 80% of the cats I come across, like they're not about that job.
No, it's the alcohol, it's the liquid courage,
it's the females around. It's
I got my friends. I got my friends with me today, and they forget that you and your friends have never been in a fight. If you guys have known each other for 25 years, and your friend always goes, "Come on, Jesse, let's go home." So why?
When I drugged that dude from the bar to the door, his friends ran up on me, and I turned around and said, "What?" And none of them did anything.
I just want to make sure he's all right. That's what you'll realize.
Bro, back home, we come in with flying kicks, and cats is getting aired out, bro. Like, it's like one haymakers, everything.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's okay. It's just a different place. And I understand I like this energy. I don't want to go back to early 2000 Don, but that's regression. What is that?
So do you deal with, I mean, obviously you've moved.
Yeah.
I hear this often, like people go like, "Oh man, the old you, that would have been." Like, we'll be in a situation, we'd be in the club just hanging out with my cousin who's known me since I was like, he was helping me get into the club before I was 21 type shit. Mm-hmm. And he'll just, "Oh man, dude bumping you stepping your shoes and you didn't say nothing." I was like, "Man, the old you would have grabbed that guy's shoulder. You're
welcome.
Like, you know what I mean?
Welcome.
Like,
this dude, something crazy happened the other day. And they were like, some chick threw a shoe at me or... Like, it's random stuff happening. Yeah. But, like, they're like, "What did Don do?" They're like, "He didn't do anything." It's like,
the old you, bro. That's my...
Like, talk to this dude. You're welcome, world. Like, dude, I'm so bro, I'm so off that joint. And it's like, it winds up, I've always been a hippie. Like, I've always been a little bit hippie, but I was misplaced and all that stuff. I love those vibes. I love the energy. I love the energy when I'm like, dude, I went down, like I said, we went out of town, had a great time, vibing the whole time. Vibe check.
People,
Mariah Carey on the boombox. Vibe checking in the
crazy.
rain. For nothing. I think it's a microcosm of this, and I say this to a lot of people, and I don't know if they really understand or get it. Like, I feel like, and I'm enjoying and I'm appreciative of the fact that there's no great wars at this time. I feel like generationally, I feel like we've moved away from certain great wars that were like visceral, that consumed our cultures and our people and our resources. And I feel like the more you move away from that, the more time you have for other pursuits of life, like intellectual pursuits, technological pursuits, generalized growth, because your resources aren't allocated towards violence. And so, like, if you extrapolate that, that's what I want to be at the highest evolution point that I can get to. And I know that devoid violence, I get there faster. Very true.
Because the way I broke it down to, not even violence, the way I broke it down to my little brother, he's dealing with his, like, life shit, right?
Right.
Him and his girl going through whatever. And I broke it down to him. I was like, bro, every time you have an argument, it's not just that day. It's about 72 hours. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, for 72 hours, you're going to be thinking about what she said, what you said, what you could have said, what they could have said. "Oh, I said this. I should have thought about it." It's for 72 hours, you're just going to be thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
And that's on a...
No, it's
that's
true.
You know what I mean?
That's something not being recorded. Oh, no. Are we not recording? That would suck. That's supposed to be flashing. That's supposed to be flashing. I'm going to be recording. We're going to keep going.
What are you using right now? What software?
Logic Pro.
I can show you.
Okay, cool. That's recording at least.
I'm going to school for this.
Oh, church. He said press that joint. Yeah, that should be flashed. All right, cool. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, this is a good conversation. I don't want to be losing this shit.
No, the podcast world would kind of force me to go back to school.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have to, and I'm glad that I get to go back to school for something that I enjoy.
Yeah,
you know, so
I was paying an engineer, and they were for like 2 seasons. and I had to cancel one of the seasons. Like, it just didn't match. Like the audio wouldn't sync with the visuals.
That's a
and so at that point, I was
everything
like,
too.
At that point, I was like, so we just wasted a whole season. I had gotten one of the bigger artists that I wanted, Young Barry, on the show and all this, so I had to scrap it. Bro, like, if I'm gonna go out in flames, I'd rather it. You know what I mean? I'd rather start the fire.
100%, bro. I'll do it my motherfucker. I'm on my Thanos shit these days. Like, yeah, I'll do it myself. I'll fail miserably my own way.
Yeah,
no, I'm 100%
as opposed
with
to just being mad at somebody. We had you there for. What were you doing for 3 hours?
I don't know. No, 100%. That's the death, bro. Bro, oh man. So we talk about this. So we talking industry. We talking all these things. Let's talk a little hip hop.
Okay.
Because you're a DJ.
Yeah.
I've always loved music. I've always had it in my life. It's something that saved me, something I resonate with, and all this stuff. My first love, obviously hip hop, then R&B. Fell in love with R&B too. My new question for people: what's on your top 5? That's trash. What's your 5 through 10?
5 through 10.
So what's your top 4? Because this is what I found. I found that usually people have relatively the common top 4.
You hear the same 7 names, just in a different variation of it all.
And then when you get to like spot 4, there's a little curveball, and then top 5 is. And then when you start moving past there, it starts getting pretty interesting. I'll let you start. So like,
let me think.
Yeah,
I would probably say, no matter what, E40 is going to be in there for me.
He said he's top 5, 6, 7.
It's a crazy dynamic because only reason I say this is so my dad and Fab from New York was just having a conversation about the source list, or some list was just out recently, and Fab was like, "Yo, no disrespect, but like E40 can't be. That's too high for E40." And I was,
that's opinion.
Because you're from the East Coast, so like, you know what I mean. It's not even saying that we're smarter or what. It's just the lingo and the game given, and when you're talking about, tell me, you know what I mean. When you're talking about the things he's talking about,
100%.
I can see why it misses New York, and then so you wouldn't. I don't know what that nigga talking about. Why would he be in my top 10?
100%.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
For me personally, because I understand what he's talking about, E40 is going to be in my top 10.
Fair.
On the reverse side of that, though, it's people like a Method Man or a Jadakiss that people like. I think,
and that's the crossover.
People got exposed to Jadakiss because of the versus battle. I think that kind of put another like thing on him. But I was a guy like 7th grade basketball practice. We jamming wise, slap like pulling up to like that's like
and that's the stuff
knock
I grew
yourself
up on.
out and stuff like. And we were blasting that stuff. So I think for me personally, I was the guy who was blessed to have a wide variety of ears. Like my pops. East Coast heavy, even though he's from the West Coast. You feel me? Like, so
got you. Tribe
Called Quest is nothing for me. I mean, I literally grew up on that. It's not like hey, man, I remember hearing that song. That's in my playlist. Like, it's...
You know them stakes is high. You know what I'm saying? Daylight, everybody.
Yeah. I would probably throw Jeezy. He's in there for me.
I'm forgetting about Jeezy, bro.
I mean, he's a lot of, man. Listen here, you got... For touring for me exposed me back to Jeezy because I'm going to Detroit and they are fucking playing, you know what I mean? Like Thug Motivation 101, his original, and they're word for word, bar for bar. And I said, how the fuck y'all sing Jeezy? Oh, you forgot Jeezy. That's how Jeezy made his name. He was coming here, then he came up to
facts.
Like, oh shit, and then you know what I mean? It just expands your mind. You go, like, you know what? You can't forget about a man who's from Atlanta who. The top of the United States.
He's going super hard there, bro. It's super hard. They still go hard for that.
Michigan is pretty much in Canada. You know what I mean? It's like right there. You coming from the bottom of the map, literally, like you said.
That's where they go on, bro.
And so Jeezy got to be in there for me.
That's fair.
I think another unorthodox pick I would have is Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy.
Trick
love the kids.
I think that'd be another unorthodox one I have.
Okay.
My ass like rap fan, right? Super religious grandparents. And then I have a dad who didn't know his dad and a grandmother who cuss all the time.
Right. I definitely.
So within that, relatable. I had to have the clean versions of the CDs that I wanted, but I still, you know. So I remember bringing.
I forgot about Trick
I
Daddy.
remember bringing show and tell. I had Trick Daddy's fucking. You know that?
Stop.
I had that album.
There's no
the
words
clean
on that
version.
track. There's like 4 words on it.
I remember my teacher going like, "So what did you bring for show and tell?" Trick Daddy, huh?
It's the clean version. It's the clean version.
Well, we'll see.
Good.
We'll see how long we can play this one.
That's funny. Actually, ironically, the clean version is the same thing as the instrumental.
Damn near. Because you know.
That's so funny.
Nothing but clean tape. Like, this is how crazy it was. When Usher's, I think it was My Way album came out.
Yeah.
He had like a little bit of rapping on there in between.
Yeah.
I think he got like a couple little dams off in there. Nothing crazy.
Nothing
my
wild.
My mom was like, "Yo, what is your dad buying you?"
Oh.
That's how my ear was at that point. That's how I grew up. Like literally, like I was
so
a guy sneaking Eminem, like the Marshall Mathers EP, Walkman on. Grandma like, what is that you listen to?
Oh, nothing. Nothing,
Instantly.
nothing.
Never would have made it.
So that's interesting. So let me ask you this. Do you think that so rap was a little bit of a taboo for you, but it was also your medium because it's something you love. It's something that's obviously prevalent in everyone's society. Even, I'm a little bit older than you, but similar time frame. But like it was always prevalent.
For sure.
Do you think that you were driven more to hip hop because it was a little bit more taboo in your life to seek more of it out and hide it and keep it safe to you? Do you think that kind of drove you that way?
I would say maybe the lyricism. Maybe the taboo of the lyric. You know what I mean? Like literally breaking down. Like, I shouldn't be listening to this, but
this is
saying some dope
intriguing.
shit. You know what I mean? So maybe like literally like crack into the lyricism of the word. I think that can apply for that. But sonically, because I grew up in the church playing instruments and stuff like that, I'm always attracted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna hear the cowbell, even if it's one time in the whole entire song. It's just gonna be, bro. Did you hear that? Like I literally hit my cousin up all the time about, bro. Did you hear the drum pattern in this?
That's that producer here, bro.
Like, bro, you're a nerd, bro.
But it's the framework. But see, this is the thing, and I respect that because a lot of people don't realize this. Once you start stepping back, or once you start doing something for a decade, some start doing something for 2 decades. Once you start compounding knowledge, so you got your knowledge for hip hop, for all that stuff. Then you start learning how to sound engineer. Then you start learning how the intricacies of things work. So all of this is experience on top of experience. So now you're moving out 2 decades of stuff. Looking at the same material, the way you look at it is different.
Completely different than what you would have. Yeah, I like how you put that because that's almost like it's almost like you're saying like, hey, do a comprehension test as a freshman, and then you're do another comprehension test as a senior, and you've been doing the same classes. Obviously, it's going to be a different perspective, and more knowledge, and like.
It's crazy. Like I used to so we came up like when I was in Virginia, like. We did MMA. It was like 05-ish. Okay. So we just kept doing it. And, you know, I had my little run. Shit was fun. Good ups and downs. Now, like, with the same homies, I still talk to some of my same friends. So, like, it's 20 years later. So, like, one of my roommates, actually my roommate, I only have one, I know him for 20 years. We went to the same boxing gym together, all this stuff. So when we watch fights, we don't like watching fights at Buffalo Wild Wing anymore. We can't do that.
You hear the talking and the guy who, how come he didn't throw a hook and all this?
Because he was stepping back and the return step wasn't allowed for it.
Yes. As somebody who also trained for a minute, I like that. And there's one thing that you just said right now that I know that you're serious about your training, all that. You said I train MMA.
Yeah,
cool.
It's
what I would hate. The statement me and my cousin hate and we laugh about so much because my cousin been training Taekwondo since he was 4 and all that. But nigga, yeah, I've been training UFC for.
You train an organization? You train what is that, paperwork? You got a badge and typing, my nigga? It's like you got, and you know, I hate this joint. And I fought MMA, but I'm predominantly a jiu-jitsu guy. I did Muay Thai, I did boxing, I did some Sambo too. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But like it was all thrown at us at the same time, so we didn't realize what
it was until it was too late. That's how I was same thing. That's what same gym I was at. I can break down what my cousin was. Right. But at the same time, he was learning and you know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever he's picking up, he's dropping to us. So I can't say that, I learned Taekwondo because technically speaking, my trainer was learning MMA, like you said. He was learning boxing, jiu-jitsu. He was doing all of that. And going, one day, class, today we're going to do this. And you know what? Yesterday I got my ass whooped doing this. So we're going to apply this. Like,
and that's bro, thank you. And that's the thing people don't understand, man. Like, it's boring. It's being the best thief you can be to prepare for the decathlon in front of you.
For surely.
Like, when I was training, I was like, people were like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just add that on to the end of my boxing, the end of my wrestling section, the end of my strength and conditioning section. I got to get that jiu-jitsu in. I have to train Russian combat at 7, and I got a little bit of conditioning. So, yeah, let me get that Wing Chun in there, that 15 minutes of Wing Chun that no one's ever used in anything to defeat this. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, but it's a decathlon, and it's hard to segment your training. It's hard to learn so much, but I think when you finally stop and you look back on what you have now, the bag of tricks and all this stuff, it's kind of like, oh, wow, like this is all encompassing. I can step in. I've gone to a judo class before and just a judo gym and been okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been anxious to learn more. Like I did Muay Thai as long as I boxed, a little bit longer than I boxed for. So, like, I feel more comfortable. I haven't done it in a while, but I can go back to a Muay Thai gym, like, yo, let's pay my respects. Let me hit my pads.
Get a little session in. You can spar a little bit. Yeah.
You don't have to direct me too much. I know what's going on. So, like, but it goes back to, like, why I like the fighting and watching the fights differently. Because now when I watch it with my homie, we can really pick apart and get that one technique that I'm like, yo, how was that scenario played out so you can get to that one technique to like, oh, I didn't even think that was possible.
Even like, so like one of my good friends, Tony Johnson, he's Daniel Cormier's boxing coach. But him and my cousin like they open a gym in San Jose and Campbell somewhere. And so watching him for as long as I have, that has changed my perspective on fighting alone. Because you've seen somebody at their prime and now he's towards the end of his career. But we're just having this genuine conversations. Like basketball, you talk about, it's slowed down. Oh, he can't jump as high. Da, da, da.
Right.
You don't really translate into fighting world. They just go, oh, he's old. That's why he don't fight no more. But then we were watching him. Oh shit! I remember his jab used to be a little. Oh shit! Well, maybe he would have checked that kickback, but now he don't want to take that con.
Because he took too many, and now he's got dead in the shit.
Yeah, so you start. I'm able to watch fighting in that aspect of going, as opposed to being like, oh, how come this looks so bad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
it's funny. That's so like I spent a lot of time because I used to corner people too.
Okay.
So like when I was coming up, like we had a coach, but like it was limited roles and whatever. Small fight team. So like we were scrapping. So we would go on the road. We go down to Alabama. We go up to Richmond, Virginia. We tour. Yeah. And then when we went out of town, there was no coaches, so I would have to coach. I would have to prep everybody, and it just is what it was. So I spent a lot of time in corners. And it's interesting that you say that because like the little nuance of the things is what is the biggest thing of what people don't see and what drives the fight. Like people like look at that prime example of a random one. Kimbo when he fought, Kimbo, anytime he fought that you saw him on TV. Yeah. A lot of people don't know, like, Kimbo didn't have a lot of talent. He was a good boxer. Wasn't ready for MMA, but by the time he got to MMA, he didn't have any cartilage in his knees, bro. He had zero. He was bone to bone in both knees. So that means he couldn't run and do cardio. That means he couldn't really do a lot of jiu-jitsu because he couldn't manipulate his knee joints. So all he had to do is the hope of making a bag off his Hail Marys and stuff like that. So that's the reason why he fought like that.
That makes sense, too. I never thought about that. But so I've heard the same thing about, what's his name, Usman?
Carlos Usman. He's bone to bone, too.
Yeah, I've heard the same, and it was, ironically enough, we met them on tour. This is crazy. I told Kev this, too. It's like, man, we met all the African champions.
Oh, you met Adesanya, too?
We met all of them when they were at their, so we were in Vegas. Adesanya was there, Francis was there, Usman was there. They were all at the same table, boom. Nice. I think they all lost, like, within the
that was that one. Oh.
Like, we met them as they were champions, and then within the tour happened, I was like, bro, I don't know if you was a bad luck or nothing, but since you shaking their hand, they've always...
You got that Conan O'Brien curse.
Since you shaking their hand, they all went down. Like,
I think it's interesting, man, because I feel like out of all of them, Adesanya was just, was kind of like a... That shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? I feel like personally, with Francis, he ran against a monster. Like limited resources. That happens.
Yeah.
And Leon Edwards was setting that kick up the whole fight. Bro.
I didn't even watch those fights. I have to.
Yo,
watch
you
those.
have to watch the real Rocky moment of it all when he knocked him out.
Yeah.
Like if you go back, they were drilling it because he carries his right hand low.
Oh, okay.
So the way he was staying, he was setting up, he was switching leads, but every time he threw that to that side, it was from that lead. So like that was a complete setup, and he just finally got the look that he needed after lulling him to sleep. And that's the thing, man. Like I tell people all the time, like if you're with a person and I can out grapple you, you feel that as a man. Yeah. You're like, oh, that's another man manipulating my body, and you know you're getting.
I know I wanted to go right, but he's making me go left.
I can't go left. I gotta go. And that's a different feel. But like when you have a high level of striker in front of you, you don't know until it's too late. Yeah. So it's like, oh, play, and it's like
for sure. Everybody, everybody who I've sparred with, who I know, like I said, like my cousin Muay Thai. There's certain things he'll do just to play with me, just to like, oh, let me do this up down kick. That's, like, how did your foot get to my I know technically speaking, I'd already been asleep, but I've now seen your foot too late.
Super humble. I had a dude I had a good friend. He stopped fighting, but he had crazy intangibles. And I think that's the cool thing about fighting in general is that there's so many things that you can't simulate. Mm-hmm. So and when you have an intangible, it's just yours. Like
your length and
he was crazy. He had crazy leg dexterity. Yeah. He couldn't keep his weight, but he had crazy leg dexterity. So we were sparring one day, and I was tired. I threw a lazy jab, and I literally blinked. And then I saw him turning around. And I was like, did you throw a head kick? He's like, yeah, I threw it over your head, bro. I should have been murdered. I had no idea what was happening. It was a wrap. You need to fix the mic. It's bothering you? Nah, it's good. Everything's perfect? Yeah, see, my mom said this. What? But you good to go? Do you need anything? Ronnie Sound Engineer back in the building. Thank you. But pull up a chair, Ronnie. You look so uncomfortable. No, I'm good, hey. So, but yeah, man, it's just interesting. You see those nuances, things happen in the game. Yeah. And seeing those things and even seeing I go back as far as looking at how people cut weight, people who's in whose corner. Okay. Because I know if so-and-so's in this corner, that means that's not his normal cornerman, so the directions come differently. Okay. So is that somebody who's really working with, or are they really connected on the same page? Because when I went to go fight, I had the same three cornermen in my
through and through.
Every single consistency. Rain, sleet, snow, bro. And I know their voices, everything's very clear. Yeah. But when you start changing people, or you start bringing in new people, is there things happening in the gym?
It makes you start questioning yourself and one guy said, but my hand was lower than let me put my hand up here, and now your whole it makes so much sense.
It's so many details, but it's interesting how to see how it plays out. But it's cool, man. I'm glad I got to have a fighting career just so I could understand my sport better. Okay. And granted, because I never really fighting was always a secondary. It was always a athletic thing. It was everyone else is doing it. I'm pretty decent. Let me do it. Yeah. But now since I did it, now I understand the prospects of fighting a little bit differently.
The one thing I really appreciate about fighting is it doesn't matter. When I say that, meaning you can literally walk in the room and go, oh, that's a short dude. That's the slow guy. That's the unathletic. You know what I mean? Yeah. Put all those in the factors, and then you go Roy Nelson. You have Ray's hammers, just knocking everybody out and then rubbing his stomach. Yep. At the end of the day, not long arms, not long legs, just mullet. How does this even make sense? That's what I appreciate about fighting. It's just literally
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Anybody can get it. Anybody.
I remember I sparred this dude in Vegas. It was in San Diego. I was like, oh, I'm about to G off on this dude, and he had a crazy short reach. But he knew how to compensate with his footwork. So every time I reached for him, he slipped. Bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, my nose. I was like, oh, my. I was like, perfect reach. What is happening? And I was like, and he hit me about 5 or 6 more times, just fireworks, because he was dumb stocky. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let's just, I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to figure out what's going on.
As we talk about San Jose, too, I think that's another one of my favorite things about San Jose.
What's that?
A lot of people will whoop your ass. And we've talked about it already, but I mean it. It's a lot of people that train full out through and through, go to, 3 hours, come back, and just because they don't have
facilities,
a crazy jacket on that says, hey, I'll whoop your ass, you don't assume that he will. You don't seem that Will or Tim with the glasses on, who just minding their own business at the table eating Wendy's, will get up and literally, like you said, roundhouse kick you to the face, sit back down and eat his Frosty.
No problem. I know a whole bunch of Frosty white dudes back home. Shout out to all my Virginia crew. I used to watch these cats I remember the funniest story. I was working at this club in Virginia Beach, and all the bars in Virginia Beach in the summertime, I fought every day when I worked security there. Literally every day, because it's locals versus tourists. Yeah. So this dude used to embarrass people when they didn't tip. So my homie, he was like, oh, you get on the microphone, shine a light on him, be like, don't give him no pussy. He don't tip. Like, just straight up, like, airing cats out.
I like that.
But this dude was a redhead that was 6'2", like 210 also. Yeah. So, like, it was always a bunch of black dudes coming down from New York to Virginia.
They assuming that we can whoop this white boy ass.
He said, man, I'm going to wait to see you outside. He said, oh, you going to see me outside? Oh, word? I got you. Walks out from behind the bar, hits this dude with an elbow, knocks his fronts out, picks his fronts up, puts him in his pocket. He's like, yo, get him down here. Like nothing. I went back to bartending. And bagged 2 chicks and took them to the back.
I love that shit. That's my genuine, like, makes me so happy when you go like the typical, oh, I know I could whip your ass coming, and you see the first punch, you go, oh, well, you ran a big check, but I don't know if you can catch that motherfucker now.
I come from the land of brolic white boys, bro. Like, there's a gang, they listen to hardcore. I used to have a group of cats that used to come down, and they were just all hardcore skater kids. Yeah. So we used to work, and then if anything went sideways or tourist was out of cut, they would just fucking crush them.
That's I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is in me, but like white people who can impress you are some of my favorite people in the world. Like the white kid who can ball in Vans. Like he has on the slip-on Vans, get on the basketball court, step back 3 is money. It's like,
oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
When did you practice that shit? Like you were skating. Like,
in my driveway since I've been 6. Nobody was around though. I was chilling.
Money.
Step back.
Like, you know, you gonna be on the team? Nah. That's just for fun.
Just to fry some cats up in the park. Dude, I love the unseen. Yeah, the unseen talents are like, and that's why I think I always liked bartending, always liked DJing, all that stuff. Because you can't tell who are even with fighting, you can kind of tell. Like, there are some anomalies that look like accountants that wind up can scrap. But like with like the DJ, with the actual stuff that are tangible knowledge, you really don't know. Like, I have no clue at all. We were down around 1,000 bartenders. Everybody's bartender. Everybody pours juice in them, and there's 1,000 different levels down there.
And I never thought about the bartender world. What would you say makes a good bartender? I've never thought about it in the sense of, because obviously there's levels. You guys have competitions. Obviously the tricks and all that shit. But I've never thought about it in the sense of like you walk into SB2. Y'all niggas know who, like, you know what I mean? Like, I see 5 bartenders, but y'all know, like, no, this nigga's a shit. Like,
100%. I think, overall, I think it's just like, it's a good question because there's levels to it, man. Like, and it's not like, I always ran into it and thinking like, you get naive and you're like, oh, my level is better than another level. Yeah. And then you work a different job, a different platform, and you realize there's multiple levels. And there's levels on those levels. Sweet. So I think like overall, like you want someone that's like, going to deliver a good product, timely fashion, try to be as kind as they can. But like, I think that's also predicated off the person in front of them.
Okay.
If I have, and it's not fair, but it is what it is. If I have someone that's patient, that's kind, that sees me under pressure and just waits, I'm going to give them a better experience than the person that's giving me a hard time.
And like watching your move and like sticking their
and
head
checking,
over the bar.
Checking, I'm like, hey, my man, that parkour, you need to pour a little bit more. I spilled. Those people get the bare amount of love.
Do you hear, do you personally hate the people who go like, oh, heavy hand or some shit like that?
At this point, it's like this new cosmic game where I'm just like, oh, heavy hand, cute story. I'm going to pour it normal, and we're going to give you this money, and you're going to give me money. Yeah. And then we're not going to talk about it anymore. And then next time, hopefully you don't act like a douchebag.
It's certain things I've never... Yeah. You start hanging around people, you start hearing words. So I had never heard the term heavy hand before.
The heavy hand thing is funny, too. You got it? Yeah. The heavy hand thing is funny, too, because, like... What is that? Let's talk about this. What's that predicated off? That's just like me going to you at your job and be like, oh, that's cool. Give me extra.
Yeah, but McDonald's, like, I want, like,
Anywhere,
throw 5 more fries in that box for me if you can.
I do it better. Like, you work at DMV, give me 10 more paperworks. I want 10 paperworks. Like, and then you're gonna ask, who the fuck are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Don Bailey. 10 paperworks, please. I'm like you walking up to me cold calling me. You asked me to give you a look.
It's super
based
bold.
off something that I don't know if you're gonna reciprocate the look. 1, 2, reciprocate the kindness that exchange. And 3, not give me trouble after I give you too much alcohol in an hour. So it's
it's layered.
Am I feeding the wrong wolf right now? In all the ways. And how you reciprocate, how you treat me, and how's your demeanor gonna be?
It's true.
So I mean, it's tough. But to be honest with you, like I'd say the best way to get the best reaction out of a bartender, is to just pull up when you're made contact to or you're asked to, respond kindly, be engaged. Don't be looking at your friends doing wild stuff, and then give them time to execute. Yeah. You'll always get the best service that you can imagine. And I'd be honest with you, pro tip: 9 times out of 10, if it's a busy bar and you do that, they'll probably give you something for free.
Okay.
And double pro tip: if they do give you something for free and you tip to compensate the free thing on top,
now they love
you're gonna get 2 free things the next time you go.
That's huge.
But people just fuck the game up from the beginning. They want the accolades.
You're asking at the very beginning that I haven't even met you yet. You haven't. Okay, that's pretty.
I haven't seen the snapshot of your personality. Like, nothing. But but here's this bottle. Hey, no, just take the bottle, bro. Like, you just want a heavy pour, right? You should have a good time with your friends, man. I'll be on an unemployment line back here, like, getting fired.
Yeah, fuck my job.
Fuck my job, man. This isn't a job. This is a turn up, bro. So, I don't need this, right? This doesn't sustain my whole life or another. No big deal. It's cool, bro. It's all about you. But I think that's the thing. Like, but for me, I just want, honestly, I want a bartender that's gonna be, and it depends on the setting too.
Okay.
That's the thing I think most people mess up. To be honest with you, I think people expect hotel bartending at a nightclub.
I know exactly, because the lobby is popping. The lobby, as I've been on tour, that's where you'll find a great auntie at.
And that's
but it's all slow moving. It's nothing. It's not a lot of pressure going on. This is more so, hey, how's your day going? Slow. Let's have a conversation while I'm serving you. I mean, I'd probably how to get their tips too.
100%.
But yeah, compared to the club, they don't really want to talk to you.
So now and not only that, you're setting yourself up for failure. You go expecting a conversation. I can't talk to you.
I gotta do.
Music's too loud, too many people, too much stuff happening.
Yeah.
Now you're agitated because you're butthurt lightweight that I'm not talking back to you like you wanted to be
But you didn't analyze the situation.
So how could I help you out the way you want to be helped out if your expectations are completely ridiculous?
One of my homies called me out for that. Like, he was just like, bro, you always come to town and you invite me out to come watch you DJ. I was like, I don't got no other time.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, you'll make it seem like we're about to hang out.
You working?
I was like, what? Bro, you'd be like, no, come on, we're gonna have a good time, da 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 da. And I'll ask you about your day, and you just give me the, yeah, it's good. And you go right in there. And I just gotta sit back and just watch you in the DJ booth. I was like, I never thought about it that way. It's just, in my mind, we're having a good time. Like,
it's the same, yeah, man. It's because we're entrenched in this world. Yeah. And honestly, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you, because like I said, it's the same thing. Like, every now and again, seeing a little lighthouse of positivity that isn't a douchebag. So, your friend, I can't talk to you right now, but, just the fact I can look at you, there's one face in this motherfucking group that I actually enjoy.
That's my, I like tapping up homie on the shoulder going, and they be like, listen to the next. I know the transition. I'm playing this for you. I know you're going to like this. Type of shit like that. Yeah,
it's a secret love, man. It's a secret sauce. And, I don't think people understand, we're so inundated with, money.
Yeah.
And things and, tangible things. People hang money over the bar to get my attention just to take that money back and pay and not tip well.
And what's crazy is they do it as though, 75 people all have money. That's why they're here, boss. So you shaking your $100 bill next to the person who's shaking their $20 bill, the drink only costs $18.
I'll do you even one better. Who's to say that my integrity is worth any of that?
I'm big on that too. I don't.
No.
I tell people all the time I don't do song requests, and they be like, "What if I give you 100?"
I'll tell you to stick your hand up
Your
your ass.
100's not worth me losing my crowd. And I tell them all the time, "What do you mean, bro?" In your mind, I know your song slaps. In your mind, I'm just
You clubbing in your head, bro. You know what would be good if I put on next?
in your mind, that shit is fire. But I have to explain this to 300 other minds right now. Why this song? Nah, I'll pass.
Paul said this joint slap, y'all. Hey, y'all, this ain't my fault, man. Paul said this was gonna be the one that said it.
This is the one. This is the one.
It's so like, and I go through that often. I tell people, I'm like, yo, they're like, where's the DJ? I'm like, he's over there, but let me help you out.
Don't talk.
Nothing that you're gonna do is gonna change the set that's gonna happen right here. And I don't know if it's a San Jose thing, and I've been spoiled about the places I've been.
Yeah.
But like, I just know the real DJs that I know that have sets and that resident DJs put somewhere. Them dudes ain't coming off their set.
No,
the one that they had planned in their head.
Oh, some people thankfully for me in my career, I was early doing the whole like, I'm gonna play these 50 songs, and then it started fucking with me mentally. So like basically, if I have these 7 songs lined up, and song 2 doesn't work. I'm already thinking like, well, if number 2 don't work, well, what the fuck was 5 gonna do? So like,
That's so.
I literally scrap the whole thing. I'll literally scrap all of this shit.
Wow.
Mentally,
it's not gonna go the way you think it's.
I thought all these 50 songs, but I'll play this one and I'll play this one. That's what you've done. That's why you created that shit. So in your mind, you've judged the crowd before you saw the crowd.
So is it kind of like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy.
Some cats can really do it, like the Miles and the J. Espinosa and shit like that.
They just keep moving with
because what happens when they do their pre-planned sets, it's based upon the transitions, and the transitions what's going to get you. For me, I am based upon the song, not necessarily. I'll have the smoothest transition,
so much sense.
but I'm based upon the song. So they'll get you with the scratching and the da-da-da-da. You're mesmerized by that, to where when it gets to the song, you're all like, oh,
you don't even care anymore,
that works. That's pretty dope. Now, if you generally just, I want this song to rock the house.
Right. It's
play that mug and it don't rock the house. And you go, no, I had 17 house rockers and 3 of them hadn't worked yet.
So do you immediately pivot, or do you give it like another song or 2?
Immediately. Any idea that I am not cocky enough to believe that every idea I have is the one.
That's fair.
So, it's just literally, I'll throw on some reggaeton and I'll look at
what's going on.
Okay, cool. We're reviving here. I'll play some Afro beats just to take the temperature. I see some black people. I might, you know what I mean? Does not mean that they're all African. Does not mean that, you know what I mean? Doesn't even
but it's something you're gonna vibe to.
We're gonna test it out really fast. Play it really fast. They responded. Cool. Now we can indulge off in this bag now. But if I've already determined that tonight is gonna be this type of night,
right?
And them motherfucking songs don't work, mentally for me, I can't sit there.
That's interesting, man.
I don't know why. It's just mentally, I just can't. I have to have the crowd on.
You're doing service to the crowd, bro.
I have to have the crowd on 10.
I think that's the only thing is like the DJ respects the crowd. That's the only thing you held fervent to, basically, over the ethos of it all. So it makes sense that you want to.
Yeah, like my ideas and my creations, like that's fine. Like I could get those off in my room. I can. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
But if it's not the super fire, like why do I have to show you that I created this mashup, and it's not rocking the just to show you that I can make a mashup? Like it's corny, it's stupid. Like it's great, you can do that, cool. I can too if you taught me. I don't really care about that. I really care about 300 people. I play this song, they're going crazy. I play this song, they still going crazy. I stop the music, I talk a little bit of shit, then play another song, and they still, you know what I mean? We look around the whole entire club, whatever you see, everybody's on the same level. No, man, look at all them niggas over there because he's only playing for them. That. Oh, look at all the white girls singing Taylor Swift because he's only paying for. No, I'm the guy who will literally play a Miley Cyrus song and mix it in with a D-Lo song. Now you got the niggas jumping around the white girls.
That's really, that's interesting, man. Because I never really thought about it that way. I mean, I know, because I haven't been around a lot of, set DJs.
Okay.
So, it's more like nightclub, kind of like top 40,
Yeah.
but like hood top 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like out here, like, first of all, you guys are super tied into like the early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
Which obviously I came up with and I love.
Yeah.
That was my like high school, college years. But like it's also interesting that you guys are still up to date with like the mixing of it all. Like the actual craft of it.
Yeah.
All. Like I got a chance to go to the Soulmates had a DJ class.
Okay.
I got to go to it.
They're really, I love them. They're really good.
And as I listen to the different iterations of DJs, I hear how smoothly they blend. Their blend and their transitions are just so like, you know, baby wipe clean. Bro. You know, and I see that, and I hear, you know, Worldwide come in and what he's hitting them with and how he's negotiating the crowd.
Completely different.
And, you know, Miles and, you know, some of the other guys, you know, Rated R.
It's a language.
Look,
DJing is literally how you talk. Essentially, how you communicate is the best way I should say it. And like you said, everybody communicates differently. And
so cool.
You start, like, once again, Miles Medina, you start realizing, like, oh, like, your DJing is the equivalent to having a high vocabulary. You feel me?
It's like the high fight IQ.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, that's like, yeah.
If you can say anything and just DJ, I would go, that man has a high vocabulary.
You know what I mean? That's fair, man. Because those dudes look different, man. They look different within the community.
Yeah.
Like the high fight IQ cats, you're like, oh, that was slick. I wouldn't have put that there. Or it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Of the world, they just...
That's interesting.
Sometimes I tell people, like, if you are watching them from the club perspective and you don't understand what's going on, sometimes they seem too smart.
Right. Yeah.
Too smart. You know what I mean? Like it's there's some people where they can break down like podcasting on the basic levels and it makes sense. And then there's other people where they start talking and they start dropping the XLR cables and the da-da-da, and they lose you immediately. And you just, okay, what is Logic and what is the Pro?
Right.
Like, what is the X? Like, how do you?
Is it the same thing? Is that all together?
Like, so,
is that one word?
Like those are the DJs of the world. Like they're.
That's interesting. Like but it's interesting how like I feel like those guys, especially as you ascend. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that it's these entertainment junctures are interesting because as your talent raises, your pool of people that are around changes. So it's a new draw of mentors, but it's also a place that you would never have gotten to before without the constant updraft. Like I started fighting Duke well. My friends started fighting Duke well. So some moved, some went different places. Next thing you know, I get invited to go to Hensel Gracie's main school, and I'm there during the fight training. I can't do nothing, but I'm sitting there watching. I'm in the room.
You moved up.
But if I didn't ascend to that level, I wouldn't have got access to that room.
No, you're right.
So like having more access with Kevin, does that put you around better DJs that you wanted to like pick their brain and like understand their style, or is it kind of like a different lane?
I wouldn't necessarily say DJs, artists for sure, entertainers in general.
Okay.
But if you want to be specific about DJ, like DJ Drama, he's from Philadelphia, Kevin's from Philadelphia, so they have a really great relationship. So naturally, me just going like, oh, I'm Kevin's DJ. He embraced me, like gave me his number, boom.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? I just asked him a simple question about Seddy Hendrix. It was like one of those his artists that are like, you know what I mean? He has Jack Harlow's popping, Little Uzi is popping. Right. Said he's like the next up and coming. So I was just asking him like some questions and like, what do you guys got? What are you guys doing to make him, you know what I mean, ascend to that level? Basically, what I was picking his brain about. And he just gave me a couple little gems and shit like that. And he moved on. But what that taught me was essentially within that is, if I would have act, I didn't have that access to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? I can't ask anybody right who I was thinking of right now. Like, one of the homies like, yo, how do you get Little Uzi popping?
Like, I don't know.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that you do that. You do, you know what I mean? Like, having the ability just to be like, even the comedians that Kevin always like that. Like, yo, I watched your whole set for the next 7 months, bro. What made you change this? You're like, what made you do? And because within that picking the brain, it also allows me to like, I'm not a comedian, but as I'm DJing now, I can. Oh, this is why you should change it because.
This makes sense. It gets
you know
stale
what I mean? Like it gets stale or da da da. You know, it's all the things there. Oh, you are even just as simple as because I'm not in LA, so a traffic joke doesn't make sense. There's no traffic in Alabama. They niggas just
live like they get their tractors and they go on their way.
Like you know what I mean? Small stuff like that's where when I'm DJing, you go, oh shit, I'm not in the Bay. I can't play a bunch of
High
42
fee
shows.
joints.
Oh, I'm not in New York. I can't play a bunch of, you know what I mean? Just all of that stuff comes into my.
That's that weird. I think, but that's like I think that's super important, and I think that's the thing that people don't catch. It's layering frameworks on different frameworks. It's working something to get to the point where you get the intricacies, knowing that there's always going to be a side language, a code switch, a jargon, a thing, and realizing that can be laid on every single thing that you laid on. I worked in a comedy room for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I've seen everybody. I met Kevin before too. I met Spank before too.
Yeah, all my people.
And they were just through the joint. And it was just like, my man put me on and they just come to the room. It was open mic that got good. But like knowing that, it got me to do a couple sets. Because I understood like the relative, I'm like, oh, okay, this is why you're putting stuff there. This is a framework. This is what's going on.
It's not, comedy is not somebody just grabbing a microphone and talking. It is so much.
So disrespectful.
It's so many levels to it. It's such thought process, especially a great comedian.
Yeah.
The ability to tell a story, have a callback, meaning that this is where we're going to start here. I'm going to lead you somewhere else and then go back to deer. And he did talk about the deer at the beginning, huh? And
that's just
he kept my whole entire.
And that's just one aspect of it. The loops, the callbacks, it's so many things.
It's just being relevant, being relevant, and being able to communicate in a way that it's like the only field where somebody goes, okay, here's a microphone.
Go.
Everybody's quiet. Everybody there's no like.
That's tough.
You say one bad joke, and it's what's the funny thing I say? I say all comedians have the little like, oh, that didn't work. So oh man, it's tough dating in LA, huh?
So dogs.
Yeah, like you get into that.
You got a dog, right? I was
like DJ wise, you can at least like go Mariah Carey. Fuck it, like you know what I mean? Like you can just get into something else.
Dream of a little babe, recover.
But comedian wise, you tell that bad joke is
crickets for real. I think that's but you know the funny thing, man. Like I feel like life comes best for the people with the hardest. Like, you know, if you're not funny and you're a comedian, the room is quiet. If you're on a quiet stage after you're supposed to be entertaining and nothing happens, you can't. That's sobering.
Yeah, you can't.
That is sobering.
You can't say, you know what, it was them.
Right. No, there's 300 of them. Yeah, it was you, my guy. But like with these things that have I feel like these things that have ultimate fails, that have acknowledged like definable things, I think those people are the strongest, most resilient people. Because once you hit a true bottom or you hit a true wrong or you really stumble and fall on your ass, you're like, well, I got some balls to me. I got some confidence to me. I don't want that to happen again.
Hey.
I'm going to keep doing this till it's better. And something that you keep falling on your face and you keep getting better, bro, those cats are bulletproof, bro.
Amazing. There's even comedians that I've listened to that, let's say, weren't as polished as they are now. Mm-hmm. And you start going like, bro, you were like a second round draft pick, and now you are literally about to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, how did this occur? Those are the people I like to ask questions. Those are that's why even when we're talking, like, I like to go like, so at what point did this make sense? I love to ask that question because most people, when they slow down, they start thinking about it. It's one moment, but it's everything led up to that. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I go, oh shit, so what are you know what I mean? What's going on in your life that's leading up to the next moment?
How can supply?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way, man. I think it's like, and that's why I want to have this podcast. That's why I want to do these things because they're all common. Our experiences are varied for sure. Yeah. But they're not that much different when you take 3 steps back. You know, everybody had a mother. Everybody had a father. Everybody had a crush. Everybody got their heart broken. Everybody got some shit stole from them. Everybody got past the spelling bee with flying colors and got hoisted on the ground, at least generally. Yeah. So, like, if there's variations that we don't really understand about other people, if we talk, somebody in this joint is going to live some of that to help you get to the next step.
Understanding, yep.
And even if it's just like, let me slow down. Let me show you how to slow your mind down. Let me show you how to devalue this thing that's huge. Your pride, your ego that you think is so valuable. Let me tell you how to take it down a couple notches so you can enjoy life more.
You just said devalue. That's a big word. It's because I understand it. It's not used a lot. You know what I mean? Like, we're always more so focused on the valuing. And there's a book that I'm reading right now. It's Leadership 2.0. So it's basically talking about the traits. Mm-hmm. One thing that he says is you have to treat your mind like a closet. In the sense of, okay, you're going to buy new shit. You keep on buying new shit and put it in the closet eventually. Like, you can fit it in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You might have to push the door shut and all this shit like that. But if you treat your mind like a closet like you're supposed to, like, I got all this old shit, let me get rid of it. Like, what is the purpose of the old white tee with the holes in it? That, you know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose? Nothing. It's cool. Like, yes, it's even organized. I got all my white tees folded up and rolled up in there, but I don't even wear, you know what I mean? I only wear 2 of them. What is the purpose of that being in my closet? It's old information. It's old knowledge. It's all the, you know what I mean? It's the shit that you learn as a kid that you really don't need anymore. Yep. So if you treat your mind like, you know what? Like, what do I not need anymore?
What doesn't serve me
what do I need to devalue? Yeah. That's why I said that. I value this so much that it's stressing me out. Let me devalue that. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not stressed.
And you know, and what's your why, bro? Like I've had to like really revamp my why over my life, especially over these last 5 years. And it's just like you said, it's like, what's my purpose? Why should I be acting? Like, I've changed some things about me, not the overall, but just like my movements, my actions. Yes. And your location dictates what you're doing. Like, I don't have to be hyper aggressive or have to have these same reactions to stimuluses because those stimuluses aren't the result out here. You know, like if I do say walk, do this and that out there, then this is the possible consequences that come from that. I'm not in that location. When I go back to the location, I'll change my mind. Yeah. But like in the meantime, let's just be. You know, like there's no. I'm in the curl right now. You know, like I have problems. I have things going on. But like generally day to day, like we go and me and my guy Ronnie, Gio at work. How you doing, man? Like, I'm blessed.
Moving on, yeah, like, you know, like there is a how do I say this? In life, perspective matters, but then there's like lessons that you kind of have to learn in order to get to that point of like, you know what I mean? Like somebody asks you how your day is going, I really don't care, but I do, you know what I mean? It's in that sense of like, it takes a while for you to realize, oh, this nigga really don't care, but I'm just gonna tell him I'm all right. And then in reality, you step back like you really are all right, bro. Like, whatever you was gonna take, whatever was really on your heart, bro. I've been stressing out about this, bro. Like, is that really a big deal? In the grand scheme of things,
person. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too.
In the grand scheme of things, is that really a big deal, bro? Like, no, it's not. I don't even know. You know, I was tripping. There you go. Have a better day.
It's a weird self check that way. Yeah. Is it bothersome enough to tell a perfect stranger about it? Mm-hmm. I think that might be the new check. Like, am I gonna bring this up to a perfect stranger to ask me how my day is?
Because you know how the reaction is gonna be. Like, hey, I got a dog. Okay. I got shit to do.
Sure. Congrats. It's true. Is this relevant? Yeah, man. That's so funny, but it's the truth though. It's one of those things. I think it's just people generally overestimate how valuable their contribution or their life is to the general public. You know, like, it's like, is that really something that should be an announcement in the city or should that be announced on your blog to your mom? Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, they can misconstrue the both.
Very,
you know?
very. Because, like, you do something embarrassing in Walmart and in your mind, all of Walmart saw you. In your mind, it's like, you fail at register 2. The nigga by the TVs has no clue what happened. But in your mind, when it happened, you're like, the whole store, let me get up here. I'm embarrassed as hell. That's like maybe 4 people out of
70 people in this. That's so true, bro. But that's how we try to live our life, based on the everything, and it's not. Yeah. That's so funny. Huh. Bro, that's the truth, man. What else we got? Let's see. You got the hip hop, you got the DJing, you're working for a great boss. How is life going for you, cuz?
To be honest, life right now is a whirlwind. So the biggest thing I've been focusing on, and it's a conversation I had before the tour, and it makes sense too. My barber told me we always praying for stuff, but we never trip off when we get it. Like, you know what I mean? We're always like His case, like, I want a family. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got one. And then, like, shit, I didn't say I wanted this type of family. You get messages like, I didn't say I wanted this, and I didn't want to deal with it. Like, man, I want to have some money. Now you got money, but you have 500 people asking you for that exact same. Well, shit, I didn't want those problems. I just wanted the money.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of like, now I'm at the point where I just be appreciative. You prayed that you wanted to be on tour. Now you on tour. So don't go around telling people, oh, I'm tired. Nigga, you asked to be on tour. And you've seen what tour looks like. So embrace that moment. Cool. Now move on from that. Like, oh, man, I'm always working hard. Shouldn't you want to, like, nah, but you hear people, they just want to kick their feet up and have it. Like, nah, but you didn't pray for that, though. What did you pray for? You prayed to be on tour. You prayed to be working hard. You prayed to fulfill your career, do the things you want to. Now I'm in that position to where I'm just like, you know what? Attack it. Be grateful. Wake up every day, even if it's like, oh, man, like, y'all don't know what, you know what I mean? Y'all don't really know what I'm going through, but I just, you know what? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's what do they say? You can cry in a Bentley or you can cry in a Honda. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, if I'm showing you that I'm in a fucking private plane today, like, what do you really care about my complaints about? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I've kind of like shaped my life to now, where nobody really cares. Like, we're talking about your complaints. Cool. Start showing them the achievements that you're doing, but also show them that you have like 10,000 more, like,
on deck. You
know what I mean? Like, I'm back in school now. Like, in the middle of the tour, I know that was a big deal for me because I know that it's a separation thing. It's like, it's how many people would literally be on tour and be like, I'm cool, I'm good. I'm doing what I wanted to do. Why would I need to go back to school?
Right.
No, you got to keep on going, bro. Like, I don't have an end point. I don't have a, like, once I make it to this part of my career, I can retire. I don't really have that. So now, like, right now in life, I'm literally just kicking as many doors down and just looking in, like, and seeing what's out there. Like,
I was talking to Justin Aquino.
Okay.
Headliners, and we were talking about, like, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 33. So I'm 43. So, like, he's kind of like, he's close to my age.
Yeah.
I feel like generationally, like, we moved from watching our parents, like, my generation, my uncles, my brother, we watched them hustling in the streets. Yeah. And they watched their parents working in the coal mines, working in these things. Yeah. And then, like, I feel like every generation gets a little bit better, a little bit more, they breed off of innovation. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we took from them the hustlers, but we took the smarter way. Mm. I feel like you're the third or the second generation of the innovation of learning how to hustle and doing it on your own terms. Ooh. Like, as you build your brand out, where do you see it kind of going as far as, like you said, like, right now, there's no real retirement plan for a hustler, but there should be eventually. Like, what do you see, like, you building your brand out to? Like, do you see it more on the entertainment side, booking artists, doing production for people?
I see eventually me being, it's something I never even thought about. I feel like I'm going to go towards the radio side eventually. Podcasting.
We were talking about that.
And then at the same time, I want to mentor more people. Mm. And not in the sense of I'm seeking them out. You know what I mean? But like genuine, like Zoe, who I'm like mentoring right now, it wasn't like a, hey, I want to mentor you. Just one day he just asked me, like, I want to learn how to just do this DJ shit. I heard you're just pretty good. Like, what do you want to know, bro? Like, give me an actual detailed plan of what you want to do, bro, and I'll help you out with that.
And if he shows that he's willing to do that,
that's
then
why.
You show
from that point on, now he's opening for me every time I come to San Jose, just because of give him some game, give him some music, and I don't have to worry about you practicing because you know what I mean. I don't have to tell you all the basic stuff. So I can see myself transitioning into like looking for artists. I'm not necessarily listening for, but finding artists that really have talent. Find even podcast world. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to necessarily be rap.
Just finding people.
Talent.
Yeah.
Hardworking people who really want to do something great. Because I feel like even with my podcast, Any Given Bars, it started off during COVID. Just literally like I want to stay relevant. I want to do something. Linked up with somebody, already have a podcast. Cool. And now this shit has turned into, I think it's like 7 of us on there. Like a team, like a legit like Zoom meetings. You know what I mean? We're doing the whole entire shebang now to where even that showed me like, you know what, bro? Like we could, if 7 people are now working for you essentially, we can now put that person in his way. We got engineers, we got cameramen, we got How are they doing what are they doing for their careers? Like, how can you boost the cameraman? How can you make him the biggest nigga in the world? How can you make the sound engineer, the hot, you know what I mean?
Yep.
How do you make him Parks?
Yep.
Like for Joe, you know Joe, but
Yep.
how do I
Yep.
make my sound guy Parks? How do I make the producer who's like nobody really sees, but he does a running of the show for me? BQ does the whole, hey, quiet on set, phones down.
Yep.
We're going to explain to you guys what we do here. Boom, boom, boom. How do I make him the runner of show in Hollywood? Or you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm more so like. That's my next transition. Is literally the whole entire team around me. How do I get them to elevate? Because as they elevate naturally, I'm going to. You know what I mean?
It's like alley-oop into alley-ooper.
Exactly.
I always say, like, you always want to try to alley-oop the person that alley-ooped you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's this weird like game of fucking Def Jam or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just looks
anybody
crazy.
who's helped me out, bro. Anybody who's helped me out. From that point on, I don't necessarily feel indebted because that's kind of like a weird type of term.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like, bro, you've given me my vision, my dreams, breath.
Right.
Whenever you need to breathe, bro, let me I got the oxygen pack for you, bro.
But like you said, I think that's the way to do it. I think that's the way. I feel like that's the new model for success.
Okay.
Is to be supremely dedicated to your craft, whatever that is. Find a couple like-minded souls, and you find a consortium to generate all your wealth into, all your focus, your artistic direction. And you help someone, but it has to be adjacent to yours.
Yeah.
It can't be the same thing.
No, yeah, it has
to be separate professionals.
It has to make sense for sure.
And then you just help everybody escalate, and then everybody kind of comes back into it because it's a similar world.
Yeah.
And you just, you need a caterer? I know this great caterer company with Don. They do Fuegos. Fuegos on the side, so they do catering also too. We have an event. You need an MC? I have a great MC from DC. And everybody just continues to eat, man. And I think the closer we move to that model and realize that there's so many lanes that no one's stepping on each other's shoulders, nobody's stepping on feet. Everybody's just alley-ooping. If you don't get this one, then we'll get the next one, man. Like,
I'm big on as right now, like minimal ego and whatever I can give to whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think more so people value my situation, my position where I'm at right now more than I do. And that's not saying that I don't appreciate where I'm at or something like that, but I kind of expected to be here, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think it was your natural trajectory, bro. Like, I was talking to Rome. Last time Rome was in town. Shout out Rome, LA Fruit Cart.
Yeah.
But he was just talking about like we were talking about, like, I felt the energy off you for years, and then he's filling in the back end information. He's like, I know his pops.
Yeah,
his pops is blah blah blah. You know, like, this is the dude, and Lil J Wells was rolling around, and Joey was in the block. So like, it just fills and proliferates what it makes sense doing. But like the slow build, the collaborating with other people over time, man. Time is really the currency. Time
and just being valued. I would say devalued. Being valued as just an individual person, I think, or whatever I do in life, I think that has been a key. So not saying I'm not in a Kingsman mentality type of shit, but somebody having the confidence in themselves, or me having the position to be like, yo, Wells, like, I really want to work with you. Like, can we collab or something like that? The fact that I've presented myself in a way that people don't feel like they can't ask that question.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah.
And I know there's levels and all that shit, but I don't care where you at. I always say, even with any given bars, you can have 20 followers, bro.
Right.
If you got bars, though, get your ass on my show.
Yeah, facts.
You feel me? Like, I might get on your head, though, like, bro, why do you have 20 followers? Like,
oh, yeah, but that's the game, though.
You know what I mean? Because now I'm going to be on your ass, like, it's more than just rapping.
Yeah.
If you want to be an artist, cool, we can record on Logic now. How do we get that song out? How do people know it? How do we make money out? There's more than just fucking record, send, bounce, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, but as I'm going to be on, and like I said, once again, I don't care if you have 20 followers, I don't care if you have 20,000 followers. I want talent around me. I want great people. I want to, you know what I mean? Like you said, like, I want to help the next person essentially become the best versions of themselves. Or you know what I mean? I want somebody to damn near to, like, my dream was to win a Grammy. Cool. We look back 10 years from now, it's, hey, how do we start a Grammy corporation? Like, how do we start giving out awards on our own?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want to find somebody who's like, cause once again, I realized that my dreams were hella small, and that's within this last year, and it has taken me like, I want to be out DJ in Vegas. Like, cool. That was a dream of mine for the longest. I was saying it.
Right.
But when you really think of it, like, that's such a, like, nigga, you could DJ at the 24-hour poker spot and you DJing in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
Technically, yeah. Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
next on the wheel, B5,
like,
and Drake.
Yeah, like, so technically you did it, but I was like, oh shit, nigga, no, you need to. Where do you want to DJ in Vegas?
Yeah.
It went from, I just want to, you know what? I want to start off DJing at Dre's. But now, you know what? Actually, what's popping in Vegas is what's the next Dre's? Like, what is bubbling to become the next? How do I become associated with that company to now become the next? Oh shit, everybody comes there. You know what I mean? I've changed. I've shifted that mindset of.
That's an important one, man. That's an important one to realize. You know what that is? That's a value lesson. Like we're talking, this devalue, value coming in with value, recognizing your value, and knowing where to apply your value to. These are all like, and they're all self lessons.
It's true.
You know, like it took me a long time to realize. Like I've been in this industry it'll be 20 years in August. Good, bad, and different, layoffs, off and ons. But like this is the only thing that makes sense for me right now, and it always has. And I'm like, oh, I hope I can get a job at so and so when I move. So I'm like, how the fuck can I get that job? Of course I can get that job. When you take
yourself out of that mindset, it sounds crazy as hell when you like, my dream is to potentially one day put that shit on paper. How do you get there? Like, you know what I mean? It's just literally, okay, you want to go to New York. What are you going to fly? You going to drive? You going to take a train? Like, let's Google map this motherfucker. Let's get there. It's not a dream. It's how do I actually make it happen? And that's what I grew up thinking dreams were, you know what I mean? Just mythological thoughts and like I'm going to be, like, if you want to be the biggest rapper in the world, it's a possibility you can. And there's a groundwork that you have to do. There's all this stuff that you have to do. But if that's what you want to do,
then like, let's go.
Yeah, it's not. Once again, like I was the guy who just far-fetched. Hey, I want to catch a fish.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. Where? What kind of fish?
Just fish.
Just
like, fish.
Yeah, just as long as I catch a fish, bro.
Be good, bro.
Little tadpole, little goldfish. I'm good. I got a fish. Nah, we got to change that to, bro. I want to catch a 20-pound salmon in the Colorado River from da-da-da. That changes, you know what I mean?
And that's the manifestation talk. And, whatever you believe in. Your higher power is your higher power.
Yeah,
but I found that the more specific that I am with my conversation with my higher power, the more things that happen specifically in my life.
But yeah, and it's not
random.
So, like, what's it, higher power, whatever. Like the saying is like, how did I get here, God? You know what I mean? Like that, people ask that question a lot. Like, how did I get here, God? Once again, let's reflect upon your prayers. Let's reflect upon what you've been manifesting. That's how you got. Like, I want a family. Cool. Now you broke with a family. You never said you wanted a rich family. You didn't say I wanted to be thriving, successful, and I want to be in a position where I can put my son into this and that. You just said
success.
I want a family.
Yeah, family.
Family. There you go. I want to play Monopoly. Like, well, here's the board. We got, like, you know what I mean? Like,
nobody's around. You didn't say you want to play with anybody. You said you wanted to play Monopoly. Roll them dice, nigga. Get on out there. I guess you owe yourself.
Like,
damn. But it's the truth, man. It's what do you?
It makes so much sense though, bro.
But it doesn't make sense until you talk to the universe, don't get what you want, and then be mad at the universe for not giving you what you thought you. Bro, like, bro,
the
you
universe
big dummy.
Will give you exactly what you asked for.
Just like, ask for the right shit, bro.
I'm hungry. Cool. Nigga come over, ask you with some bread. Some bread. I don't want this shit.
Somebody hit you in the head with a peanut.
Said, nigga, I wanted some fried chicken and some. As opposed to just, I'm hungry. I just wish I had some food today. Here's some saltines, nigga. Like, don't be mad at me because you said you was hungry and I offered saltines.
It's something. It's something. Oh my God, it's so true, man. And then, yeah.
That shit really fucked my head up, bro. When I said, being in Vegas, just realizing, like, nigga, you said you wanted to be a DJ in Vegas for all this time, bro. Like, now you here. You're here. You focus how many years on this,
to this point.
and then you realize how small of a goal it is, and going, man, if I would have focused it more and made it an actual real goal, not just a, you know what I mean, like a hope and a wish and a prayer, I would probably be 5 years ahead.
I think that's the thing about getting older, and I think you're at that age where you're starting to get that first round of like, damn, if I would have just been, you know, like, you look back at high school, if you'd have studied a little bit, you'd have been a valedictorian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it sounds so simple too, but it like,
and it is. But that person, I'm like, oh, that's impossible. Like, you dumb, like, dude, read a book, bro. Like, and then you're gonna win. Like, all I gotta do is read a book. Like, just read this book.
You're not even busy in high school. Like,
you doing jack shit. You doing jack?
Nah, bro, I gotta get home and what, nigga? Like, I ain't got no fucking bills. You ain't got no.
I gotta sit there and think about this chick that's not gonna give me no
credit
pussy.
Score don't matter. Like
credit score. I got a book report I'm thinking about. I ain't worried about no credit.
Just fucking it all off, bro.
We all do it, and it's just we all do it. Oh my God, I laugh. It's like the Dave Chappelle show, the 3 Daves kid, like the 18, the 24, and the 33.
Bro,
it's like, dude, I look at 18-year-old Don, I'm like, bro.
Like what we talked about earlier, the old you would.
What are you doing, Donkey Kong and this dude for looking at you wrong, bro? Like, what are you doing, bro? We don't do this, bro. Yeah. But he looked at me funny. Like, you know why he looking at you funny? Because you were looking at him funny.
You have something hanging off your lip, bro.
Yeah. Like,
that's why.
Sorry. You should have told me something on my lip, and I wouldn't have punched you in the head.
Punch you in your shit if you told me.
Man, you just look funny. Mom, get him up, man. Let's get him up, bro. You just... Perspective, timing, fucking... So everything. It's funny, like the longer you go around, the more things that matter, that don't matter, the things that do matter. You know, like it gets so broad, but it gets so like necessary.
Like as you say, perspective. So I DJ'd at Loft. So Loft downtown, like they reopened up and they're about to start cracking again. I used to DJ downstairs, right? And I was like, I laugh at it now because there was a point in time, once again, inviting all the homies. Bro, you got to come out tonight. It's going to be one of the greatest nights ever. We had Loft tonight. In perspective, though, like, in perspective, that was my best night. Like, that's all I've been waiting all week just to get to this point.
For Loft.
For 20 people in this bucket downstairs. And that was like the craziest moments for me at that time, and now I walk back, I just look at it across the street like, bro, remember that was like the highlight of you were telling people they gonna have the best night if they can just come to Loft. just to hear you DJ. And now like, I would never invite y'all to Loft. If I'm at the point where I had to take a gig over there, no disrespect to Loft, but like,
let's just get this over.
Yes, let me go ahead, especially the downstairs part. I'll dominate upstairs. I want to be upstairs, but with the little. The starter rooms where I used to be in, like the opening sets and oh my God. I used to value that shit like, bro, they got me DJing from 9:30 to 10.
Got it.
Bro, don't the club open at 10?
Yeah,
but listen, they got me DJing from 9:30 to 10. Everybody finna be there.
It's gonna be the best half hour of your
life.
life.
So when you say everybody,
man.
Bartenders, security guards,
they gonna have. I do just one thing. Tyrone in the corner, he just does his bob.
I think the people cleaning the club, they gonna be just leaving, but it's just
because Martha got a double shift tomorrow. So I mean,
but I got to get my 10 people invited. That's what they told me in order for me to DJ. So
that's so funny, man. But it's. I think that's the best, though, man. Like, it's like the people, like, I went to high school in Chesapeake, Virginia, near Virginia Beach. The next biggest town is D.C.
Okay.
So I remember everybody's D.C. down. D.C.
Chocolate City is amazing.
It's got his places. It's got his spots. But for sure, I know a lot of those spots, and it's good vibes.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, D.C., let's see what D.C.'s like. I came from New York. I finally got to D.C., I'm like... This is DC? DC is 19 miles by 19 miles.
Yeah, it's not big at all.
It's not big at all. All the sections are condensed. Everything. I'm like, but I thought, nope, that's it. I just ran to the edge of the building. Oh, that's the end of DC.
Done.
Like, okay, that's cool. And then you start partying. You get into the nightlife. You start partying. You know exactly where to go. You know where the speakeasies are. I partied at a place next to Howard Theater down that alleyway.
Okay.
Opened the door. I go there 4 o'clock in the morning.
Whole different thing.
Yo, they partying, bro. Go-go music everywhere. Everybody jumping. It's crazy. And this little white girl was like, I just went here the other night, and it was so much fun. I was like, what are you talking about? Took me to a turn up. We were there until like 9 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's just one of those things. It's like, DC is still 19 miles by 19 miles.
It's still what it is.
Like good, bad, or indifferent. You know, like even now, like I was telling stories to the college kids. They're like, they're on V, 9th, and Florida. I'm like, yo, you'd have got murdered for thinking about coming down here 10 years ago. If you'd have been like, hey, I think I want to go down to the 930 club and there's someone to stab you in the back of the head, bro. Because it was just that much. It was just that much violence. But now it transitions. Things are different. New energies, new things. And it's what we need to progress all this stuff.
I think so too.
But it's interesting to see how like you have perspective on one thing. Everybody hypes it up. You see it for yourself. You're like, then you get into it and you're like, all right, well, next city. Mm-hmm. But the people that revere it are the ones that never leave.
Ever.
They never leave. And that is the highlight. They don't know that there's, oh, you think DC is cool? Then you should see San Francisco. You think San Francisco is cool? You should be down in Miami. You think Miami is cool? You should go to that little place in between the cut in North Carolina.
I think the more you travel, like you start this, the more you travel, you realize how ignorant you are, one. Just like the smallest thing is just like, I told somebody, like, I flew into Jersey because we had a show like all within that New York area, I think. And I forgot what airport it was, but it was like South Jersey somewhere around there. And my Uber ride to the fucking place was like 2 hours. And in my mind, I was like, there gotta be a fucking airport in between. There's just no way. There's no way in the Bay Area. We got San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento airports. And I'm over here doing a 2-hour drive. And I called people, like, yeah, dumbass, you should just flew to Philly.
Because Philly is South Jersey.
Like, why would I think about that? Like,
because you don't know how close South Philly is. That's so funny, man. But I mean, you live and you learn. But you get those lessons, and then the next time you go in, you're like, "Oh, we go to Philly, bro." Like this is
never going. Yeah, like, why would I fly down there? Like,
I'm never going to JFK when I could just go to LaGuardia.
Yeah, you start running 15
minutes
shit.
Closer.
Even like Chicago airports, and like which one you go? So O'Hare got a lot of traffic. You don't want to go to O'Hare. You want to go to Midway. You want to go just like.
I ain't trying to mess with that joint. No, it's the truth, and it's like, and that's my favorite thing about that is like. When I do have that one person with me, I'm like, you don't want to go to that joint. You want to go to this joint. Like nobody's talking about it. I'm like, trust me. Let's go check this joint out.
I know what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah,
I've been here once or twice. Like,
and it's fun. And, yo, I love that thing about, I love that about traveling. It's just like the forever adventure, the small hole in the wall place that's still there years later.
I did this tour. I wanted to do the pizza challenge. It's essentially like Chicago, New York, Detroit. Like who has the real?
How you do it? How's it going? How's
For
New
me
York
personally?
You know I'm in a New York bracket. Heavy New York style.
Every time I've said a pizza, it don't matter. Every time I say a style. The other regions are, you must have had the wrong one. Who took you to, where did you go? Because you didn't go to Grandma's
spot. You went to Leroy's on Southside? You can't go to Leroy's. That nigga
you must have went to the wrong one because I go. Detroit was the most fire pizza I had.
For you? In Detroit? So in Detroit. So this is the other
I went to
thing.
the cities and then had the pizza. It wasn't like a whole, I'm going to go to Miami and have a Chicago slice and judge it off of that. You know, it was literally.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes. Like, this is the best New York style. They don't got the water for it. What are you doing?
I went to each city, and this is my personal opinion now.
That's fair. No,
not trying to make anybody mad. Chicago was trash.
Talk your shit.
Chicago was trash.
Meat soup. Nobody wants meat soup.
Chicago was trash. New York was great because we were fucked up a lot. And it was always available. So always let's get a slice. Let's get a slice. It's 6 a.m. Let's just get a slice.
Somewhere. I don't want that slice. Go 2 blocks up.
Yeah. Right there, another spot over. So that was great. I couldn't complain about New York. But Detroit, maybe it was the whole experience and all the above. Like, I'm big on cities being who we thought. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I'm staying in one part of Detroit. Google, like I always do, food, boom, found it. I'm a walk. That's what I do. I always get to a new city. I just like to walk around. Nothing too crazy.
Right.
Hopefully I don't end up in the hood, but I just like to see what's going on. Walk into this little pizza spot, crossing the bridge. House is getting a little rougher. You know what I mean?
Time to go back.
Yeah, you start seeing
it.
I found my, okay, cool. All right, got the little pizza thing. I'm just watching the whole experience. I'm watching people walk in and like, oh, this is real Detroit.
Yeah.
I really felt like, had the slices. Oh, this is everything they said it was. Like, okay, cool. Well, now, when we went to Chicago, the issue that I think I had was I didn't have the pizza at the spot.
Oh,
we had people deliver, and I couldn't tell you exactly what spot I had. I think it was like whatever the popular chain is. Like not Harold's Chicken. It's like
It's been a while, man.
It's a pizza spot. They had like hot dogs and all type of shit there.
It's like a conglomerate.
Yeah, it was like pizza, hot dogs. I was like, oh, this is what y'all do in Chicago.
You just put it all together, man. What you want, baby? We get it for you.
That wasn't that great, but like I said, once again, New York was fire.
Yeah.
But it was just something about that Detroit slice where I can still damn near taste it. Like I've had pizza all since then, but I'm still searching for that bite.
Have you had what's that joint? The joint Alex works at. Slice of
homage is amazing.
That joint is pretty fire, bro.
That's one of those things when somebody goes, but you didn't have it. No, you should.
It's pretty damn good. Yeah, that's a good representation of what they're supposed to be doing.
No, that slice of homage is in the middle of my set. I'll stop DJing for a slice. Like,
and them joints is heavy. Them joints are like. They come with elaborate, and there's a bunch of meats. Yeah, bro. Like
during the summer, I was ordering those before I even started DJing. Like are you here? What
ahead of time.
I want pizza and like,
whatever else y'all have to offer. I think the only thing I will say about Detroit pizza, I do bang on that joint. Okay. I got exposed to it not too slice of homage. My homie works there, so like, let me put you up on game. I was like, okay. I feel like Detroit has had all the other styles of pizza to kind of like borrow from.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, all right. It's the best conglomerate of like innovation.
I see what
and then
you're
they're
saying.
like, this is a separate lane that's distinct, but we can borrow from a bunch of other things. But I mean, they're still doing it though,
it's
so it doesn't matter.
Big and blocky like the Chicago style, a lot of cheese and shit like that. But it's not. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, like it's like the perfect blend between Chicago style and New York style. I think. It's like your grandma made them joints.
The sauce is definitely New Yorkish.
You know, the big block joint. So I mean, that's my only knock. But it is the newer style. But it's pretty fucking good.
Mind blowing.
It's pretty fucking good. I can't. There's no notes. There's no real notes. Like no notes. Just get stuff.
Really
Shut the fuck up and eat. You know?
Yeah.
But Jay, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
I know you got tons and tons of things to do.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Dude, thank you for coming, man. God bless. Jay, you gotta do amazing things that you continually to do. I just can't wait to get the updates, bro. That's my favorite thing about you. It's not like, how's Jay doing? It's like, what's the update, bro? What's the next cool thing he did? Oh, he was bungee jumping off the Grand Canyon while he was playing a DJ set for on fire for magicians. Okay, that's what's up. Is he safe? Oh, okay, cool. He had a suit. So it's always great hearing what you're up to, bro. Yeah. But thank you very much for your time.
Vice versa, man.
And we out, bro.
Yeah.